Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Bear. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the emote in the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can apply those emotes. If you're not a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes, or you can continue to lurk. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Isabella is here saying, oh, this kit looked very cool. I'm going to have to get this. Indeed. Isabella also throwing in the emotes. Aristofan, we're going to hit the applause there. Thank you, Aristofan. Subscribe 42 months saying life, the universe, and everything. 42 months, indeed. Thank you very much, Aristofan. That's a tier 2 subscriber, so you get that tier 2 emote. Thank you very much for the sub. Appreciate it very much. Speaking of subs, we are currently at 49 out of 50 subscribers. Love to get back up to that big 5-0. If we don't, it's okay, but it is a goal. Yes, this kit is really cool. This is the Beyond Global High Grade that we're working on. This is part of the 40th anniversary of Gundam. It is an attempt to look similar to the original sketches of the RX-78-2. And I think it looks beautiful. I love the colors very much, particularly the red. I think it's fantastic. No poly caps, only the stickers for the eyes. It has been a fun build. A little confusing parts here and there with the chest I found was a little confusing, or how the arms come together and so it's not used polycaps. It's a little weird. It actually is a little wobbly in the arm. We'll show in the overhead. The arms are a little wobbly, so I don't know how they're going to look with a weapon, but we'll find out when we build a weapon. We don't know yet. So tonight's plan, we're going to continue to work on this lovely kit. Then we're going to talk about some anime and some manga. In the second hour, what are the other things that I can that I know we'll chat about tonight? I'm going to answer a question, and we'll kind of have a discussion based on a question that I got for my Patreon Q&A. Isabella just subscribed to tier 1. That's 3 months on a 1-month streak, saying, I had to refresh for my sub to show up, haha. I resubbed for the stream proper. Okay, you resubbed before the stream properly started. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, we also are at 50 subscribers with that, so we are going to hit applause. So thank you very much. And we can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the emote in the chat. If you're a tier 2, you get that site. Thank you, Isabella, for doing that. And we'll hit the old. There we go. Thank you so much. And yeah, and we're close to a hype train with those 2 resubs. And we did hit 50, so I can take these away. Wish there was an easier way to do this. I mean, there's probably is. Like, what I need is like a quick thing, like a quick button. But I don't want to take up a whole slot on my Stream Deck to just make those sources invisible. One thing that's weird about tonight is, for me, is the dashboard says 3 people are watching, and I know more than 3 of you are here. So it's wrong, and that's weird. That's just a weird thing. I'm not saying we got like 100 people here tonight, but I do know that we have more than 3 people. So whatever. Hopefully it'll fucking fix itself. All right. So I answer a question that I gave to a Q&A here. Talk about discussion about finding Gunpla in your area. We're going to talk about a YouTube channel that I've watched it a lot of lately because it got it just always recommended to me. So finally I started watching. It's kind of fun. A little bit about yard stuff. Some upcoming nonsense that I'm going to be taking part in that is just my real life shenanigans that won't affect the stream in any way, shape, or form. Also, just to start things off, I'm going to hit the old retweet. We'll go to the overhead. We'll get started continuing to work on the waist of this kit as I've replied to my tweet. I'll go to the overhead. I have to make sure that I am not looking at the OBS right now. It's a larger number now. You're fresh. Yes, indeed. I got to make sure I'm not looking at the overhead because the overhead or the monitor for OBS is now darker than my other monitors. My third monitor I really only use for OBS while I'm streaming so that I can have a full screen, I can look at it, I can get everything going, and I don't have a tab around. So my setup is I have 2 monitors here, directly forward, and one is a Google Doc with information that I use, and then another tab, Nightbot, which I use for commands for the Pause for the Cause. And then I have another monitor that has Twitch dashboard open full screen, so I can read chat and I can do a bunch of stuff within that. And then I have OBS on the third monitor. I have now made my third monitor the brightness less. And I can always readjust that if I'm not streaming. And that should mean that I don't have a monitor reflecting a lot of light right in my face and making me look more bluish than I would normally be. My lighting is never going to be great around here, but it can be better than it was. And this is a quick and easy way to work on that. And then we're going to work on our kit. You can see here we have gotten the top of the RX-78-2 here. We did the backpack, we did the head, we did the chest, the arms, and now we're working on the waist, which we got, a good chunk of the waist done here, but we still have more to go. So we'll put that there, and then we'll just we'll get to building. I want to do that. Yeah, I want to adjust that a little bit. That's what we want to do there. I bumped this camera here the other day, and I've been and I've been attempting to adjust it as I went, but best laid plans and all that. So yeah, that's the thing I'm happy about that I figured out was adjusting the brightness on this third monitor has definitely helped quite a bit. Small things. Yard work is back with a vengeance. I won't talk too much about my yard work shenanigans, but had to get up into it yesterday. It's colder now than it was. It's still nice. It's still in the low 60s, high 50s, but it was in the mid 70s on Thursday and Friday, which was goddamn lovely. It was a real treat. It was really blessed with lovely weather. And that was very good for getting some stuff done around the yard. So yesterday, I did some yard work. I got out the leaf blower, which is just fun. It's not the most high-powered leaf blower in the world or anything, but it gets the job done because that job specifically is blowing leaves further back past the edge of or basically to the edge of the property. So I did that, and that was good and felt good there. Took an allergy pill beforehand, which I don't always remember to do, but I did in that particular instance. Took my allergy pill and then wore a mask and then went out and got some work done. Watered a bunch of plants. We got some bushes. Some leaves have finally shown up there. They're sprouting some leaves here. I think the nice weather kind of woke everything up, which has been lovely. Because last year everything came in real late, so now we're getting some stuff about when we should be. All right. I am putting plastic into plastic in order to have a little bit of color here on the front of our waist instead of using a sticker, which you would be using in another kit. As again, this kit only has one sticker, and it's for the eyes, which is nice. We like to see that. We like to see far fewer stickers than normal. The next high grade I'm working on has a lot of stickers, but what are you going to do? Part of the kit, the next kit we were working on, the Quant, which is the Gundam 00 Command Quant, which is a combination of the Command Gundam and the Quant or Quanta combined together. And one of those two kits is from 2010, so it's some old parts and some new parts, but the Command Gundam is actually an SD Gundam and hasn't actually ever had a full high grade. So there's some new parts on that kit, and it's kind of neat. It's cool colors and kind of a fun design. The Quant is already kind of neat, and the reimagining of the 00 Gundam like GN drive stuff into a Gundam that is kind of unique in the command is interesting. I don't know. I was pretty pleased with it looking at it. I mean, we're not starting that yet, but I took a gander at that kit, before the stream, and I'm like, all right, this is pretty interesting. Is one of two Gundam Breaker Battle Log official kits for us to build. So there's like a asterisk about that. There's a line of general purpose Gundam Breaker Battle Log kits that came out. And then there's one kit that has been repurposed to be part of that line that's a premium kit, the Weiss Barzum, Technically, it is when it originally came out, it was a Gundam Build Fighters, but then it was a premium kit that came out which is from the show, but it is so technically it doesn't have like the kit bash stuff. That's like, hey, you should do this and you should combine it with these. It doesn't work with that line because it is a premium, but it technically is part of that line. So I still need to build that, but I could shoot a video with all the kit bash nonsense when I complete 2 more. The 00 Quanta, or 00 Command Quanta, and the Astray red frame inversion, because it's just the red frame, but they inverted the colors. It is also goddamn lovely. That's a great looking kit. Sharp colors. It's mostly black with red accents instead of being red with black accents. It's very, very cool looking kit. We got 2 more of those to build, and other high grades. I got my first ever G frame, which will take no time at all. I got it on sale. It'll take no time at all. It's one of those kits that the box is the instructions. Like, you open the box and then you like disassemble the box and all the instructions are written on there, because it's very simple to put together. It's not really, it's like in between action figures and Gunpla, but I've never built a G frame and I thought it would be neat to look at it. And it's the Blitz Gundam, and I like the Blitz Gundam. That's a fun mobile suit. So I'm excited to put that together in the future. But yeah, I was looking to do that. I also I got that from USA Gundam because I had a not related to any y'all gift card to USA Gundam store. So I got that, and I got what else did I get? I got Shank's ship from One Piece. Shank's ship, red. It's the red something. I forget the name of it. But his ship from One Piece, I now have that, which is one of only like 3 One Piece ships I haven't built. So I was like, yeah, that'll be fun. It's a lot of stickers because it's a One Piece ship, but I haven't built one of those in a hot minute. So I was like, that'll be neat to do. All right, so we're gonna take these apart here. We'll wait until we get these connected before we panel line them, because we like to see what they look like. I got to get used to the fact that this monitor is not as bright as my general preference, because I'm like, oh, why am I so dark? I'm not. If I look in the dashboard, my dashboard, it looks perfectly fine. I got to remember to do that. Let's see. Other things I want to talk to you about. Yeah, let's get into this Gunpla discussion. So I got a question that I answered on my Q&A. I do a Q&A on a monthly Q&A over on Patreon. It's the only the only exclusive video I do. It's only for Patreon. But a question was asked that I thought would be a nice little discussion, and I also would like to hear your thoughts out there about how you find your local Gunpla. Like, how do you go about finding that? Especially in the case of the question asker, somebody was moved to a new city. Now, I had some broad thoughts. The internet is awful, but sometimes it can be informative, because you can go on like r/Gunpla if you don't mind strangers knowing what city you're in, or if you're near a city, like, if you can be like, hey, I just moved to Dallas, and I would like to know, like where the shops are at. What's up? That might be something that you could do if that's something you're interested in doing, of reaching out to that, or looking up your city, your new town on Facebook. I don't recommend Facebook in general, but if that helps, if going to Facebook and saying like, hey, I want to, like pick some people's brains, see if anyone's saying anything, anyone's recommending a place there. The internet can certainly help in that respect. If you are on message boards and they have an off topic that you can put feelers out. I think I looked on Google Maps as last break. Google Maps also can be helpful. Yelp, I generally don't recommend Yelp for like food recommendations, but you can at least see what's out there. And then here's the trick that I do when I'm looking for something nerdy, right? The one thing you can find in a town, if your town doesn't have, you're like, I don't know if they're going to have hobby shops, or if they're going to have like, like a store that sells Magic the Gathering cards, or like if there's going to be like a mall like store or kiosk or something that's going to have these things I need. I don't know about that. But you know what your town or a town or city near you has? There's probably a comic book shop. There might not be two, but there might be one that you can find. And anytime you are going to go into a business with the idea that you are going to ask the employee at that business for a recommendation of other businesses, you also have to buy something. I say this as a former retail employee of a niche store. I worked at an import store that imported anime stuff. It was a dream. We did sell some Gunpla. It was a beautiful place, but we often got people coming in asking like, "Hey, do you know any stores that sell like import video games?" Or, "Hey, do you know this or do you know that?" And I didn't mind answering questions when I knew those questions, like, "Hey, do you know any place that sells Magic the Gathering cards?" Because like they saw a nerd store and they had different nerd needs. And I never minded that. I never minded that at all. Except when they just came in and the first thing they did was ask a question, get the answer, and then leave. So, if you are looking for a hobby shop, if you're looking for anything nerdy and you're going to go into a comic book shop and you're going to ask that question like, "Hey, I'm new in town, are there any games of like Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon TCG that happen around here? Do you know of anything?" You're going to make some questions like that. You got to buy something. Action figure you're looking for, comic book, graphic novel, whatever. Pick something up, buy it, and then ask the question. Because you are already getting something, you are going to get information for free. So you should pay that forward. In the same way that, yes, free comic book day is to get you in the door. But those comics are free for you. They're not free for the comic book shop. The comic book shop buys all of those. DC and Marvel don't pay for those comic books. The comic book shop pays for those books. So you don't just go in for your free comic book and leave. That gets you in the door. It celebrates. It gets some buzz. You buy that comic book, then you get something else while you're there. If you're going in for information, you're going to go into a store for information. The hope is that you are going to be getting something. Because of that, you are going to then gift them the satisfaction of some sort of business that you can bring to them. And also, you might find out, hey, this comic book shop I went in to ask some questions, I was rewarded with not just information, but also, I didn't know they did this. They do these things. They do screenings of things, and they do pizza nights, and they have Mario Party or Mario Kart or Smash Brothers nights or whatever. Like, they do this. You might find that place was a pretty cool place. Red Rum says, "I just tuned in. I'm building my first complete Gundam." Hell yeah, Red Rum. That's awesome. Yes, welcome. And congrats on that. We're working on the RX-78-2 Beyond Global. We just completed the waist, and now it is time to move on to the feet. We'll do the legs last. We're gonna jump down to the feet, which is cool, and we'll get started on that. And we're just talking about finding Gunpla in your area, tips and tricks. But yeah, now sometimes you're gonna go into a place and you're gonna buy a comic at a comic book shop, and you're gonna be like, "Hey, while I'm here, I'm new. I'm looking for this kind of a thing. Can you recommend anything?" Be prepared for them to not have an answer for you. Maybe they don't know about your shit. They don't know. They're just an employee there. They don't know. What do the colors represent at the top of your stream? Great Crescent Rhythm. So, where it says blue, black, blue is representing the color blue on this kit, and black is the marker I am using to panel line it. You might be able to see, as I'm building, I have been using some markers, some Gundam markers, to do the lines on the various parts on this kit to make them kind of stand out, give them a little bit of a sharp comic book look, almost a little cell shaded look. And it does stand out. It doesn't look as striking necessarily on camera as it does in person, but yeah, so I've been doing that. So that is for me to remember. Okay, so the red pieces, I'm using the brown marker. The blue and yellow pieces, I'm using the black marker. The white pieces, I'm using the gray marker for. And then you can kind of follow along. But yeah, it's mostly because, like, even though I've been doing panel lining for a bit, relatively for me, it's still a new thing. And sometimes I'm very odd. I know, like, okay, I'm going to do this and this and this. No problem. I know exactly what I need. And then sometimes I'm like, shoot, I don't remember what color I was doing. Anyway, yeah, if you're asking, like, comic book shop owner, the hobby shop, you went to a hobby shop to see if they sold Gunpla, but they don't. They only do, like, trains and cars and boats and planes. That kind of hobby stuff. They're not doing your kind of hobby stuff. If you want to get a Pinewood Derby car, they're going to help you out. But they're not doing your nerd shit. Just be prepared for the fact that they might not know. They might not have the thing. And that's why, like, posting in, like, on the Gunpla subreddit and being like, hey, I just moved to this town, or I live near this town. Does anybody know if there's, like, what's a story you recommend, or whatever? Like, going on Facebook, looking in your city, looking for stuff like that, could help. I feel bad because sometimes people reach out and they're like, hey, do you know, like, a good place in LA to buy Gundam? And I'm like, no, I don't. But sometimes I can retweet and be like, hey, any LA-based friends want to recommend the place? Like, because I don't even know, the comic book shop that I bought stuff from in LA doesn't exist anymore. And so I haven't been there in a long time. So the next time I go to LA, I don't know what comic book shop I'm going to go to. I will probably reach out to friends of mine that I know frequent shops and be like, hey, where do you go? But yeah, right now I'm like, ooh, I don't know. But that is a nice thing about, like, knowing people in certain cities, right? Like, if I'm going to go to Boston, I can reach out to friends of mine that, like, live there or have lived there and be like, hey, where do you recommend for this kind of thing? Or if I go to, I know that Casey Malone probably knows where you can buy Magic cards in Los Angeles. My buddy Casey. Like, I'm assuming he knows where to go for that. He also might not. He might know where some hobby shops are. So it might be worth asking Casey. My friends that have worked and lived in Portland for a long time know where the good Portland shit is. A lot of my San Francisco friends don't like the same kind of shit I like. So they might not know, like, where to go. Like, if I ask them to recommend a thing, they might not know, but they might know the person that does know. Red Room just bought 6 high-grade Gundam kits from Hobby Lobby, all 50% off. I'm looking for a Gundam shop near me. Nice, yeah. I mean, like, I've said this before, looking on Target, looking on Amazon. I used to buy a lot of my Lego at Kmart because there was a super Kmart in New York right by my work. So I would stop in there, get off at Penn Station, go into the super Kmart, go over to the toys section, see if there was any Lego I wanted. Because it was easy to go and get that. It was convenient. And then I would, like, if I was looking for a set, like, I would do that quite often because that is a convenient way to get stuff. And yeah, if you can find something in your area. Unfortunately, where I am right now, don't have anything. I don't have anything local. I wish I did. I'd rather be supporting local, but you do what you can. Figure stuff out as I go. Let's see. We'll get that there. So yeah, that was a thing. If anybody else has any any of their thoughts of, like, oh well, when I'm buying stuff, or when I moved, I did this. Like, I always love to hear it. It's also good, that kind of thing of, like, asking somebody who works at a place about other nerdy shit after you already bought something from them is pretty helpful, because you can get stuff like, if you're maybe the employee at a comic book shop knows if the retro video game store, which retro video game store in your town, uh, charges reasonable prices and not just like whatever the highest price on eBay was the last time you looked on eBay. Because some people look at eBay as like, well, this game is up for this amount of money on eBay, so that's how much we charge, which is only just like, yeah, but has it sold there? Or are you using tracking numbers? Or are you just looking up a thing and looking at the most money you think you possibly could get for the thing? Or are you looking for like a competitive price? They might not know that. They might know that. They might not know that, oh, that barcade, nobody services any of those machines, and they don't have enough quarters and all that other stuff, so you don't want to go to that barcade. Or, well, if you want to go to this place, you want to do that or whatever. You can find out those things like, oh yeah, that used to be a cool like place where you could a bar where you could play board games and hang out, but like now it's a neo-Nazi place, which is a real thing that happened in Brooklyn, a place that I used to frequent and go to. I got to tell people when they said like, hey, you know that bar you took me to like a couple of years ago? And I'd be like, no, we don't go there anymore. They changed motherfucking clientele, and it's not good anymore. That place was very cool, and then it fucking wasn't. It became a real problem. But yeah, you get to find that out. Locals, your nerd locals can often be a good amount. You just gotta vibe. You just gotta feel the vibe of them, right? Like sometimes you're like, oh, the things you think are bad aren't bad, or okay, yeah, you know what you're talking about. You know what the deal is around here. Like, you'll feel it out. I bought some Gundam metallic markers. Is more paint. Or these are the panel markers. Yeah, so metallic markers are different. I am not the foremost expert on that. So I apologize that I don't know a lot about metallic markers for Gunpla. As I said, I am very new to, only a couple of years into using that. So let's see. I'm using doing paneling, but I'm pretty sure the metallic markers are just you can still use it for that. But also metallic markers, I think, are better for fill. If you want to if the chest piece is yellow and you want to make it gold, you can get a gold metallic marker, and that's more for painting than it is for doing lines. If other folks in chat have opinions, feel free. I may have bought too much just trying to get into this topic. Yes. Hey, that happens, right? You're not the first person that has happened to, where you get into a hobby and then you find out you need a lot. One of the things that's great about Gunpla is you just need a couple kits. Just get some kits. And use what you got. You got wire cutters in your house. That's the only thing you've got. Use wire cutters. You got kitchen scissors. Use kitchen scissors. You don't have to get God hands, which these are not the top of the line God hands. These are one step below. You can get snippers that are meant for model kits and have a great time with it. I used wire cutters for a really long time before I eventually upgraded to really nice pair that I use here. You don't need markers. Markers are great, but you don't necessarily need them right away. You don't need to worry about color correcting. You can get into it. I've never seen their metallic markers had a small enough tips or panel lining. They're more for painting some degree. Yes, that's what I assumed. They were more for color correcting almost, or making things pop, like a piece pop, not like a section pop. Just be careful. Do not use any actual paint markers like that. Ones you have to shake to activate on ABS plastic. Yes. So, yeah, you got to be careful with metallic markers. But, yeah, they're mostly for, I want the yellow chest piece on this God Gundam to be more gold, rather than I want the indent lines on this shield to really pop. So, yeah. But I do think that... I use this eraser. I like this polymer eraser for cleaning up panel lines. But some people just use their finger. And some people use Q-tips, Boy, this silver sticker looks like it sucks to deal with. What if I painted it instead? Yes. What if I used a marker instead of like a paint marker, instead of applying a bunch of stickers that have to bend and go around corners. What if I just paint that corner? Yeah. All right, we have finished the. No, we haven't finished the feet. We got more feet to do here. Let's see. Other things we want to talk about. So yeah, so that's my recommendation for trying to find shit. But yeah, the number one thing is, if you can get in with a nerdy thing, chances are they know somebody who also likes your nerdy thing, or can point you in the right direction. Because it happens. Yeah. Let's see. Other things we can talk about tonight. I have a recommendation of a YouTube channel that I want to talk to you about. It is youtube.com, the Steve Wallace. And that is Wallace with, I forget how many L's is on Wallace. That is double L. Steve Wallace, who runs Camping with Steve, is a dude that does primarily, he does a bunch of like camping stuff, but he primarily does stealth camping, urban stealth camping, aka camping where you're not supposed to be, like in a vehicle in a police parking lot. Shouldn't be camping there. In the woods behind a Home Depot. Shouldn't be camping there. In a cave on land that is owned by the country of Canada, because he is Canadian, that he should not be camping in. And he has a bunch of gear. He sometimes does stealth stuff. Yeah, I just got a bunch of if you watch enough van life videos and building shacks in the woods videos, eventually you are going to get into some recommendations of camping videos. So I've been getting recommended Steve for a bit. I do respect and love that wherever he ends up going and camping, he always brings beer. At his step 2, step 1, get set up at camp. Step 2, drink a beer. And I appreciate that is like his MO that he sticks with. Seems like a fine enough guy. Has a lot of information about different camping. It's kind of fun to be like, oh, he's using this kind of hammock thing that's camouflaged, or oh, he's using a duck blind, or oh, he got this tarp thing that is white because it's snow. There's all the snow on the ground, because a regular camouflage wouldn't work. Okay, that's kind of neat. I was definitely a lot of it is just, he's a white guy in the suburbs of Canada, so he can get away with quite a bit. There's a lot of privilege going on there. Of just being yeah, he looks like he should be there. It is interesting to oh, well, this is land that oh, he certainly shouldn't be there. And there's some other camping stuff of he had a tent thing and bubble wrap, and he tried to camp in that, and that did not work great for him. So it was kind of fun to watch him struggle. He'll do some challenges here and there that are pretty interesting. He made several times he has made a houseboat out of pontoons and various other garbage with his former neighbor. He was introduced at the time because the guy didn't want to use his real name, so he was introduced as Crazy Neighbor. And since now they're not neighbors anymore, but he is a part of the cast of characters. It's a whole thing. I think it's a fine enough YouTube channel. It passes the time. It is a thing you can have on in the background. He'll do some cooking. I'm going to cook on this heater, this buddy heater, and I'm going to do this, and here's a quick meal you can make with this thing and all that. It's not never gourmet, but it's always fine. I don't know. If you're looking for another YouTuber with a bunch of content that is very specific in what they're doing, but seems to kind of know the ropes of that. That's the Steve Wallace. That's WALLIS. The Steve Wallace is a stealth camper guy, and yeah, I thought it was it's pretty informative. I also seeing parts of Canada I've never seen before. That's kind of fun. Um, I, uh, I I definitely am taking a break from van life videos and like RV conversion video things and all of that. I'm definitely like taking. I watched a lot of that content, and eventually you start seeing like videos of like the same people. Because I got really into pretty recently camper video uh, like camper trailers conversions, like toy trailers that then they converted to be like, oh well, it's just this thing that hooks onto your truck or your, whatever, and then you can put the station wagon, and then you can put this, and this, and then suddenly like, oh, we got a bed on hydraulics, and oh, I got a garage in the back, and all this stuff, and it's just like, okay, hey, Lord Crashington, welcome, happy to have you here as always, my friend. And eventually, it's just like, okay, I've watched enough of these videos. I'm now starting to see the same people on different, channels, and I'm just like, oh, I think I'm good. I think I'm okay. It's like, oh, and then it was like, oh, this guy makes vans and interviews other people's vans, and then his van got stolen, and there's a whole thing, and I'm like, okay, I gotta get out of this. Or, oh, it's a couple. Oh, they have kids, and they live on this bus, homeschool the kids on the bus. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, this person lives in a car that they convert so they can sleep in their car with 2 dogs. Okay. And then, yeah, I don't know. Eventually, just like, all right, I think I'm good. I think I'm all right on this one. Um, you know, you like anything, you just eventually, I get kind of sick of that kind of thing. And then it's like, all right, let me find some other videos out there on the internet. Because one thing that's pretty good about the internet, there are a lot of videos. You can just fall down a rabbit hole and get really into a thing, and then you start knowing too much about the thing, and then you're like, oh, here's a YouTube channel I never heard about. Oh, look, they've existed for 4 years, and they have this amount of content. Cool. I will just obsessively watch this, and then I will form definitive opinions on things. Like, there's a food channel on YouTube that is like 2 professional chefs and 3 guys who call themselves normals, but they are far superior chefs than it could ever be. But they're not professional chefs. They just like food, and then they have a channel, and sometimes they'll do like normals versus chefs on a challenge where like one of the normals will have like unlimited budget, and then the chef will have a very small budget, and they have to combine a meal using this is the thing, and we're going to make a soup and whatever. And it's like, okay. But I found that I really hate that they call the guys who are not professional chefs normals, because it's just like, no. You're in the food business. Like, you make food and know a lot about food, and it is very misleading to call these people also normals is just like a weird term. They're British, so at least they're somewhat affable. But I was just like, no, I'm good. I think I'm all right. I watched a bunch of their videos. Sorted Food. They have an app. It's a whole thing. It's a whole business. And I was like, I think I'm good. They had some competitive stuff in there. I mean, they review like Kickstarter gadgets, kitchen gadgets and stuff. And that's kind of neat. But I don't know. I have not been playing Elden Ring because I don't play Souls games, because they're not something I'm interested in doing fundamentally. I'm happy for you. If you are Elden Ringing, if you have rang that bell and you are playing the Elden Ring, I'm glad. I hope it works out. It feels like the co-op is fundamentally not a good system, and that is the thing that keeps it from them being able to have like a pause in the game, because of the fact that there's like co-op focus, but the co-op seems to be implemented very poorly. And in fact, it doesn't work on Xbox as of right now, unless you set your country to New Zealand, and then it'll work, which is just like, what? They may have hot fixed that, but it seemed bad. But are you playing Yeah, 2. No, I'm not playing that either. No, those are just not. Yeah, co-op is working just fine on the PlayStation. Wristband, that's great to hear. Also, you know, people always recommend like, well, if you got the PC, you should get the PC version. Those are not Pat games. Got it. Yeah. Had no clue about that system on PC, and that's got an update today that made it run a bit better. Good, because I heard that the PC was poorly optimized, which is a shame because that's where everyone was saying people should get it. But yeah, I mean, they're just not Pat games. These are not games that Pat is looking for. I like my open worlds to be weird and not. And look, here's the thing: From Software games are weird. They are like, hey, what's that weird, disgusting person doing over there? I'm gonna go over there and see why is this person cursed? What foul god has destroyed this person's soul and made them this way? Oh no, I have to murder the tragic person. Sorry. Like, I get it. They're hard on purpose. They're rewarding. They reward you for figuring it out and doing the thing. They punish you for... I understand the interest in a game that punishes you for getting cocky. You're like, I've done this 100 times before. Oh, look, I just died to one of the easiest enemies. Great, I got cocky. I paid for it. I fucked around. I found out. I respect it. I understand it. I like it for you. I don't like it for me. It's not that's not my thing. It is not what I'm looking for out there. So I'm glad there are big naked giants roaming the world. Of course there are. There are just knights on horses hanging out, just doing their thing that definitely hate you. And their horse hates you too. The horse, for some reason, also hates you. And everything hates you. And you got to figure things out. And then sometimes there are people that are just like, oh, this person doesn't hate me. No idea why they don't, but they don't. Cool. And then later you might find out, oh, actually now this person does hate me. Shit. Or maybe this person doesn't hate me, and for whatever reason, I'm just going to fuck them up because they don't hate me. And then I'll kill them for no good reason. It's a whole thing. I'm glad that people are having a good time with it. Again, it is just not my style, not my thing. Lastbrook says, I helped a giant sentient jar with limbs who was stuck in a hole a little bit ago. Is that the friend that needs you to kick? Is that the friend that needs you to kick its ass so you can kick it out of a thing? It needs you really just kick it in the butt a bunch? Because I've heard about that friend. Yeah. Yes. Okay, Lastbrook. Yeah. I heard about that particular friend. But also I heard, like, I don't know, I was watching a little bit yesterday, and it was just like, I was just watching a friend like, oh, I'm kicking this guy's ass. I'm kicking this guy's ass. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, wait, that guy's got a horn. Oh, no, that guy's blowing the horn. Oh, no, a bunch of his friends showed up. There's always friends. We were like, I'm going to fight this bat. Oh, there are 2 more bats. Okay, I got to fight all of these bats right now. It's just like, just seems like there's a lot. Like, oh, look at this funny guy. Oh, this funny guy has friends. Oh, no. Everyone's got friends but you, unless you also have friends because you're co-oping. You're putting the co-op in. And I do enjoy that. It's just like everybody's got friends to fuck you up. Unless they're huge. Sometimes the huge ones don't seem to have friends because they don't need them. But anybody small seems to have lots of friends and they all want to kick your ass. And I don't know. I think that's cool for people. Again, not my style. Last week says, the weirdest thing about Elden Ring is you can just fight regular animals. I did a backstab on an eagle. Oh yeah, they're just like sheep that hang out. And you can just go and like fuck up a sheep's whole day. Or a goat or whatever. You can just like ruin a thing. Okay, so this is going to go here. I get that part. And this is the part that I don't quite understand. It's going to go here. All right. I don't quite. Oh, there he goes. Okay, this is where the leg is going to connect to the waist, or help connect the waist. And I didn't understand how that clued in. Okay, I got it now. This part was a little confusing, but okay. And then it's going to go there. That makes a lot more sense. I get it now. Got it. Okay. Working on one of the legs, obviously. So starting to get that. We'll get this all done, and then we'll panel line all of the leg pretty much at once. Yeah, we'll just get it all connected because there's not a lot of overlapping pieces on this. It's all just interconnected pieces. So we'll get it completely built, then we'll panel line it, then we'll work on the other leg. The sheep like to turn into a ball and roll away when they're scared. I mean, same, Lord Crashington. I get it. Sometimes you just want to roll up in a ball and roll down a hill and just get out of there. Like Bloodborne had crows, but they were fucked up crows. I mean, also, of course. I don't know. I heard there's bears. I heard that there are bears. And sometimes the bears, you're just fighting a dude, and then a bear shows up. And maybe the bear's going to fight you, or the bear's going to fight the dude, or the bear's going to help the dude kill you, and then the bear and the dude are going to fight. And I don't know. None of that is like, maybe if I'm saying this, you're like, shit, I could be playing that right now and go with God, and I hope you're having a good time. But I hear that, and I'm just like, there are. Yeah. And I hear that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just fucking good. I just, like, don't need that in my life. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm good. I'm glad that you found something that you're like, this is my thing, and this is what I do, and this is how I do my business, and how I get shit done, and this is what I'm into, and that sounds great, and I'm happy for you. But like, you can fucking count me out. I am good. I interrupted a bear, says Lord Crashington, that was scratching up a tree with its paws, and it sure did not seem to enjoy me interrupting its fun. Well, fuck yeah. That bear's just trying to scratch, get the claws in, scratch up a tree, and then you come around and you're like a samurai or whatever. Or you're like, you got some weird bucket on your head because you did something. You fucked up at some point, and now you got some weird prisoner, like, cage on your head. You're running around because you're some sort of pervert or something. And it's like, so sure, yeah. And you show up and you're just like, hey, what if I hit you with this stick? Or what if I hit you with one of my swords and then prepared my shield? And that bear is just like, I have stuff to do today. I don't need this. Sure. I do like a game that the Elden Ring isn't just like, hey, what if skeletons and demons fucking hated you? And it's also like, hey, what if bats and birds and bears also fucking hated you? But I will say this. Despite knowing that this game is not for me and not something I'm going to play, it does have a cool horse. And I'm all about a cool horse. Also, I don't think we'll ever actually know if they named the horse Torrent to fuck with people that want to torrent the game. But if that is why they did it, and that's the only reason why they did it, it's great. If it's not the reason they did it, and they have another reason for naming this horse Torrent, so that you can, if you type in Elden Ring Torrent, you will just get information about a very good spirit horse and not links to a torrent. That is very funny to me. I don't know. I, again, can't tell you if that is actually what it is. The horse, yes, the horse can double jump, and also it should. All horses should. Here's the thing. As far as I'm concerned, all horses do double jump. They just to keep it from us. At least this horse is letting us know that it can fucking double jump. And sure, that's great. Go for it. Do your thing, Torrent. Live your best life. Go for the gold. Be the monster you've always meant to be, Torrent. Torrent, the spirit horse. It's just great. That's good shit. I like that. I don't know. Like I said, not for me, but I respect the people that it is for, and genuinely, I am very happy for all you that you get your weird game that you get to play that you love very much, and you look. I'll say this, folks. If you're into the Demon Souls genre, the Dark Souls, the Bloodborns, the Sekiros, if that's your jam, cool. I'm happy for you. I just can't imagine a version of me that would be like, this is this is now the thing that I'm into. Who knows? Maybe in 5 years, I'd just be like, how am I not been playing these things? But I'm good. I got my Power Wash Simulator update coming out on Wednesday. Very happy about that. I got that's the thing I'm definitely excited about. Still playing Hearthstone, loving Hearthstone. Maybe if it had an easy mode. I don't know, Lord Crash 10. Like, look, I want it to be more accessible, but accessibility and ease are different things. Let's be true and honest about that. I do want more people that want to play it should have the opportunity to play it. I firmly believe that. I will always believe that. I do not believe that difficulty is the mark of a success of a video game. Punishment is not something I'm interested in. The challenge is real, and I respect the challenge, but I also want things to exist for people. But it's just not my vibe and not something I'm looking for. But also, you know me. I'm playing Hearthstone every day and enjoying it. I got a couple decks that I really like right now. I got a Warlock deck that cheats out an 8/8 dragon that if there are no other dragons in your deck, then you get a bunch of broken cards that you can play. And I play that deck. And do I win with that deck? Not really. Do I have fun with that deck? Fuck yeah, I do. I got a Shaman deck that just evolves cards. So I play cards for cheap and then make them bigger cards. And then sometimes I win and sometimes I don't win. And that's very fun. I got a bunch of stuff that I'm enjoying. I do keep trying to pause because I don't play enough of these games this last month. There you go. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense if they're like really want you to be having people invade and doing co-op and teaming up with people. But if you don't want to do that, it definitely sucks that you got to like hang out, fuck around, never pause. There's definitely like parents were the people that I know who are just like, hey, like the old good old John Drake was just like, hey, I feel bad that John even had to. He's like, I am not trying to comment on this game. I am simply asking if there's a pause button and the reasons why there wouldn't be. And John is coming from the perspective of a dad. And I respect that, but I feel bad that he had to put like, look, I'm not trying to like talk shit. I just don't understand because I would like this game. Probably can't play a game like this if it doesn't have a pause button. And I understand it. I get it. Lord Crashton says, I've been looking at the demos on Steam Next Fest. I haven't even looked at any of those to see what's cool sim game might be. There's one about birding, one that's about building houses in other buildings, a food truck sim, and one about operating a forklift. I mean, I played the original Shenmue, so I don't know if forklift is something I definitely would want to do. So here's my thing, right? Those all sound great. I am literally copying your chat message, and I'm going to investigate those and see what's up. I kind of want something generally in the vein of I am looking for around the Power Wash Simulator, like it's a simulator, but it like is aware that it is a video game and it wants to be a fun video game, and like Lawn Care Simulator felt like work, and Model Builder, which I didn't end up actually picking up, but I watched several things. I downloaded it, but need to check out Neon White, says Lashbrook. Okay. But yeah, the investigation I did of like Model Builder was just like, this seems like tedious and annoying. I kind of want just like, I think Power Wash Simulator is kind of the sweet spot, or like House Flipper was the sweet spot of like, you can just get stuff done and you can see the results and it's fun to do and it's rewarding to do, but it isn't like, it isn't like an immersive. I don't want an immersive sim. I want a playground sim. Like that's kind of what I'm looking for. Like Power Wash Simulator, like does there are times where I'm frustrated by it, but for the most part, it's just like washing this shit, getting it looking nice. I'm very excited to be playing Power Wash Simulator with the new update that comes out on Wednesday on stream on Wednesday, and be able to use my new computer. I've been playing like going in and having a little fun in there, and it just looks so good on the computer. So I'm excited to have it run. I mean, not that it ran bad. There was one patch that didn't run great, like they had to like hot fix. But for the most part, that game just runs like real nice on my new PC. It's still mostly a Hearthstone machine, and then I've been playing a bit of Fallout 4. Started a new save on there with a bunch of mods, which has been going pretty good. Gotta say, doing a pretty okay job on there. What did I just do? Oh, I very recently killed the guy that killed my wife, kidnapped my son, and then I found him and killed him. And then I took a piece of his brain to a doctor, and it was like, I need to know stuff about this brain. And they were like, all right, well, you go in there and learn some memories of this guy. And I'm like, great. I played this so I can't skip this section, but I don't have to watch any of these things. I don't need to know. I don't have to have sympathy for the guy that I've murdered. We'll go. And now I got to go to a crappy place where the bombs dropped and kill a dude. Or not kill a dude, talk to a dude. So I can go and then kill. Spoiler alert. The playthrough I'm playing right now, Fallout 4, I'm going to go kill my son because he's not a good person. And so I'm going to murder him and completely fuck up the game because it's still the best way to do it, because otherwise you have to do like a bunch of tasks for the no, I'm not going to do a bunch of tasks for the Institute. I'm going to murder my son so that he can't continue to do terrible things to other people with his own twisted justifications. No, thank you. He's been indoctrinated by these people, so they gotta go. He's gotta go too. Tough shit. He's dying anyway. Spoiler. Again, even he dies no matter what, because it doesn't make sense for him to not die. So even if you don't want to kill him or don't kill him, he's gonna die. So you might as well put him out of his misery. There's an autopsy sim. I'm not a big fan of those. Forgot there's an electrician's sim. Okay. It sounds like there's a lot of sims, Lord Crashton, and that makes sense. It totally makes sense. Also, I'm just killing time until I can play Tunic. Like, I'm just killing time. I don't know for sure if I'm going to stream Tunic. I feel like I'll stream some of Tunic, but like, that's the game that I'm definitely hyped the most for coming out soon. Because I just love that fox. Just love that fox. Just want to run around as that fox and have a good time exploring a world and trying to get shit done. Zelda, but you're a cute fox friend? Sure. I'm there for it. Like, that's the thing. That's coming out in the middle of next month, and I'm excited about it. Hey, February is almost over. If you have stuff due March 1st, that's Tuesday. So get your shit done, because February is always sneaky in that way. Because it's just like, yeah, there's 28 days, but like not 30 or 31. So like, yeah. Dirty wants me to hit the ska button because on Wednesday I'll have a new ska song. So why don't I hit the ska out now while we still have this song? Ba-dum-bum. Yep, that is the current ska tune, and there'll be a new one for March. Yes, like rent, Lasberg. Yes, if you got rent due March 1st, it's coming. It's just like, get your shit together, because the money, if you can owe people money in a couple of days, it's on its way. I got speaking of money, I mentioned this on the old Twitter. Got a surprise dividends check there, SAG-AFTRA, which is great, for my appearance in the first episode of the third and final season of Difficult People. They did some digital sales for some places, and I got some money. I never know when those are coming, those old residual checks. Never know. Always a fucking pleasant as hell surprise when that shit comes through. Because, yeah, it is unexpected, but always welcome. Not like, it's not life-changing money, but it is like, oh, cool. I can shift some stuff around next month without worrying about it. I'm not like, oh no, or, I don't have to, like, fret about things for utilities or whatever. It was nice. Nice, pleasant surprise. Right now, a lot of those checks are generally, like, they sold a show that I had been on to some company or some distribution platform or something. Like, usually it's just like, oh, they sold it to this thing, and now there's some money that needs to get paid out to people. Alana Glazer will be in something somewhat high profile, and then some other country will want, or a streaming service will want Broad City, and then they want the season I was on, and then, I suddenly get a little bit of money, and it is great and wonderful. It is just like being paid forward. As always, thank you out there to the fine folks at SAG-AFTRA, a union I am not a member of, but because it was a SAG show, they do look out for me and take care of me, which rules. And I am not a must join, which also rules. I don't make enough in a year to force me to have to pay dues, which is awesome. And then someday I will have to do that, and it'll be okay. They tried to get me to join when I did my first bit for Jimmy Fallon, with Late Night with Jimmy Fallon, when he still had the late night show. Tried to get me to join then because I got paid a good amount of money there. And they're like, well, you're going to keep getting this money, so you're going to have to. Or Lord Crashton wants me to hit the ska again. Sure, I'll do that. They were like, well, no, I mean, you're going to be making this on a weekly basis, so you're going to be a must join. And I was like, no, this is a one-time thing. Do you not know what Late Night with Conan O'Brien is? And the person that had been talking to me was just like, I don't know what that is, no. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a nightly show, but I'm not a regular. It was a one-off appearance. They'll never ask me back. They did ask me back again, but that was when it was the Tonight Show, not the Late Night Show, so it was different. But that's fine. But it was like years later, and they were like, I was like, yeah. So it's like, all right, well, if you keep doing this, you'll have to be a must join. I'm like, I'm letting you know, if they do keep asking me to be a reoccurring or something, that would be great. They're not going to. This was a one-off deal. And again, I did eventually go back again, but they were few and far between. The worst one was I got cast to do a Fallon bit, and I was like, hell yeah. And they were like, it's a pre-tape. And I was like, even better. That means that, like, it might air 2 or 3 times because they might show it again if it gets a good response because it's not a live bit. But then it found out that we got fucking screwed because we got paid for under 5, which is basically like you have under 5 lines. I had a line. That never aired on television. The bit I did aired on like some kind of network that paid like an unbelievable high amount of money for Fallon to do a bit for them, and they should have paid us way more. But no one got to see it because it didn't air anywhere that like you can watch on U.S. television or the internet. It was a bummer. I was really bummed about that one. And I did let my contact know. I was like, hey, I love doing this stuff. Happy to do it. Happy to be in these things. Thanks for asking me to be in it. But like you gotta please let me know. If you're having me do these things. Because I should have gotten paid. I got paid for like a late night TV like under 5 when I should have gotten paid for a commercial, and should have gone through somebody. So that was frustrating. I don't know. Been a long time since I did any of that. I still do auditions. I still do send in audition stuff because it's all for stuff where transportation is involved. Like I do submit for things. I don't submit for like I used to submit for a bunch of stuff of like like oh well it shoots in New Jersey and you have to provide your own transportation. Like if it says that, then I just say oh I'm not available for that because I am not currently in New York. I still just say like hey due to COVID I am not presently in New York. But I do, but it is my home base, and I will be back. And I just say that, and then if I ended up booking something, then a lot of times you're based in New York or Los Angeles, and they film in like Atlanta, so they got to get you to travel anyway. So I'm fine with that. And then if I get far enough in a thing and book a thing, and they're like, actually we're in New York for the fittings, just like oh then I'll go to New York if it's like paying well enough. I'll make it work. Borrow the money I need to get it paid for a job later. But it's a lot easier just to do it now because I am not the only person who is not living in New York right now or LA. A lot of people went back, and that's cool. I don't have the money to go back to New York right now. I would love to. That is a goal of mine is to go back to New York, but that is currently not in the cards. Gotta have something set up for me. I can't just go to hang out. What I can't do is like go to have everything get shut down again. Like that is a legitimate fear of mine because there have already been like some short-term shutdowns. I mean, things are really going to open up, and we're going to like, pretend like it's not a problem, even though it is going to be a fucking problem still. We're just gonna I guess we're eventually just gonna fucking give up everywhere, but also in New York. Which is a nightmare. But anyway, I can't go to New York to then just to see what's up. I'm too old for that and don't have enough money to waste to do that. I need to go for a job. Doesn't have to be like a full-time job, but it does need to be like part-time or semi-permanent or something. It's got to be something to make the justification to go and do the move. But who knows? Look, if it comes to pass that I am going to move, you will know. I will be talking about it on stream because it'll be something to talk about. But right now, I don't see that happening in the near future. I do have plenty of like contract work that I can do here, and I can certainly do that contract work in New York. I just need more. Does current work you do allow you to work from another state at least? Yes, and John. The stuff I do right now, all the stuff I do right now, I could do anywhere as long as I had the internet. And honestly, I don't even need good internet because I'm uploading I'm downloading documents and PowerPoint presentations and video, and I don't generally upload the video back. I usually just upload documents and PowerPoints and share them. So I don't need good internet to do the jobs that I currently do. The jobs I want, to do probably demand a little bit more, but I could move to New York and continue to do the projects that I do now, whatever income I do get. I could move back to New York and continue to do that. It's just what I'm doing now doesn't pay enough to make that move make sense. I would need more things. Yes, because the New York rent is damn high. Yes, so I need at least a very good part-time job to justify getting up there, and then while I'm doing the other stuff that I'm currently still doing, I can't just go up there and continue to do the work I do here. One of the reasons why my life works out okay the way it is right now is that I am not paying any rent. And I pay a share of food, but I don't pay my fair share on groceries. I don't pay I pay for some utilities. I don't pay for a lot of them. So I have decreased my bills extremely. And the most expensive month for me is right now. This is the expensive time of year for me because I have to pay for everything myself. So I can't move back to New York right now. But I can still so I need something to go there. And I am trying to make that happen because I do want to get back to New York because at the very least, my big bill every month is my storage unit in New York. And I would love to not have that anymore. I refuse to do the math of how much money it costs me to do that per year. I know how much it is per month. But I gotta eventually someday not have that be a thing because it is terrible. We're not going to do a full pause for the cause because we're rolling along with this kit and it's also 10:15. I didn't notice that it was 10:15. So we'll do a short pause for the cause. I'm going to link to a couple videos mostly. But hey, if you're currently a subscriber, why don't you throw the Bear Cave Lego, the site, the emote in the chat. Let the people know you're a subscriber. See those cool emotes. I appreciate you very much for being a subscriber, everybody that is. I'm John through in those emotes. Appreciate that very much. But yeah, if you're a subscriber, you can throw those emotes in. You can always gift a sub to somebody in the community. You could convert. If you've been gifted a sub, you can convert that to a regular subscription, and we won't charge it until they won't charge it until your gift sub is concluded. So that might be something you're interested in doing. I got an Amazon wish list. I'm just gonna link you to my wish list because I think that's a thing that I like to promote. I do have a backlog, and I am buying kits constantly. But if you want to help me out, a great way to help me out, like for one time, would be to support me via my Amazon wish list. Buy something on there, and then I'll build it on stream. If you're watching this later on YouTube, what's up YouTube? You can find all links and stuff in the show description of the video and more that I'm not going to mention here. But yeah, I got an Amazon wish list and I got some pre-order stuff. I got some inexpensive Lego, some more expensive stuff, a 30-minute missions kit that I've never built a 30-minute mission, so I put a pre-order up for one of those because I wouldn't mind doing that. But a bunch of different kinds of kits, different things that I'd be happy to build on stream, and some gear because it's nice to have equipment, things that would help me do the stream better. That if you're interested in, you could jump in and make a purchase on, because that stuff's nice. And if you buy something off my wish list, it jumps the queue, and I build it before I build other stuff. Pep Bear's Anime Club. I have a new one coming out tomorrow. Monday. I have a new Pep Bear's Anime Club coming out. But if you missed me talking about the anime awards, there's that video. Do You Remembaer is an ongoing video series. This one is about the dad. What is his name again? Nehemiah Persoff. The father in Yentl and the father in American Tail, and American Tail Fabulous West, and the other two American Tales. I talked about him by reading his Wikipedia page. I got a new one coming out on Wednesday, but that's the current one. And then there is no archive of the karaoke stream that I did on Wednesday, with the exception of, because I locally recorded it, I did upload my cover of the English language lyrics to Cruel Angel's Thesis, the theme from Evangelion, that someone made and then tried to fit the lyrics into the song. I didn't do the acapella at the beginning. I already kept someone bitching hey, you didn't do the opening acapella part. And you're right, I didn't. I waited for the lyrics for the music to come in because I was sight reading. I don't know how to sing that song, especially with lyrics that just kind of fit. But anyway, if you want to watch that, you can watch that because I think it was pretty fun. We'll get back to building in just a moment here. I'm going to talk about a manga and then some anime, but we'll start with that. First things first, though, I gotta drink some water. So we'll do that, and then we'll get back into building. Dramatic effect. I still keep forgetting to change that for another song or another sound effect that is longer to cover the fact that I need to drink some water. But anyway, hey, let's talk about an anime about baseball, but also it's an isekai. It's called In Another World Where Baseball is War. So you might ask yourself, Pat, is this an isekai where the main character is a expert pitcher and his knowledge of baseball like it's just like, oh, it's fun because he's a baseball player. Like the like the concept of like a football team travels to another world and they become King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, like, which is a thing that is out there. That's a story that's out there, and it's just like, no, it's not that. It's war is settled by baseball, so the different races from different countries compete in baseball games using magic, and this dude died in an accident and then was summoned to another world, and now he's got to get a ragtag group of plucky underdogs together so that they can win baseball games, and it's very fucking much about baseball and the subtleties of pitching. And also, there's like bunny people and shit, and racism, and politics, and magic. And I don't think it's good for baseball fans or anime, like sports, like manga fans, or good for like isekai fans like myself. I think it's trying to be good for both those groups, or for the person that likes both those things. And it's like, finally, my love of baseball and my love of overpowered main characters. Is it like that baseball episode of Dragon Ball Z GT if everybody was Yamcha taking it very seriously? Yes. Yeah, it's... Well, like, look at that. Like, what if growth hormone was magic power ability? Because it's just baseball solving problems. DB Super, yes, that is a Dragon Ball Super thing. Yes. I believe in GT... also in GT, Yamcha was playing baseball. So that's where I think your confusion came through, because he did also play baseball in GT. Hey, we're body complete on this beautiful looking kit. We got to do some weapons here, but we're doing good. So yeah, it's weird, and I don't think it's good, which is a shame to say. Yeah, I don't particularly think that it's like a great manga, because I don't think that it fulfills... Like, there's not enough sports bullshit, and there's not enough, like, fantasy bullshit, because they have to compete with one another. And the very concept of, and we're settling this by paying baseball, doesn't make any sense. It doesn't work. Like, they don't try to justify it, but while not trying to justify it, they don't justify it, which makes sense. It ain't great, and I don't love it. But I had never read it, and I was interested in taking a look at it, so I did pick up that. Oh, we're gonna do dual beam sabers, and then we'll do a gun and shield combination. But I don't know. There's something about like a Gundam with two beam sabers that I just like the look of. So I'm gonna take a photo of this here, and then we'll I don't have a stand. I could get the stand that's right there, but I don't want to. So I'm just gonna do a cool pose here. We'll get out here, and then we'll build the gun and the shield. Take some photos, and then we'll probably have some time to start up the 00 Command Quant. Sometimes called the Quanta, but we'll probably just call it the Quant. Anyway, yeah. The problem with my overhead light is that I'm going to kill that overhead light. Yeah, it does really fuck up the... There. It's good for building the overhead light, but it's not good for photography. All right, then we're going to take these beam sabers out. Then we're going to build the gun. We'll finish building the gun and that. So anyway, that is that's the manga I wanted to talk to you about. I do have anime to chat about. We'll chat about some anime. I think there's like 20 chapters right now of in another world where baseball is war. I'm just not. I'm not going to finish it. I'm not going to get caught up. Some of the friends that he makes along the way. There's an old guy that I really like that also has been isekai'd. I enjoy him. He was this guy, he's just like, yeah, just the old man of the team that has to like fill it out for numbers. I think that's the best part. I wish I liked Slow Loop more than I do. You know me, I love a cozy anime. I love an isekai. Not isekai. I mean, I love an isekai, but I love a cozy anime. And I like a girls doing stuff and having a good time anime. And this one just like doesn't check it checks the boxes. It just, I don't know. I'm just not having a lot of fun with it. I don't love any of the characters. I don't have anybody that I'm like, this is the person I really like in this series. And that's been frustrating because I really want to like it. I really do genuinely wish that I enjoyed that series or that show, and I just don't. I wish I liked Slow Loop a lot more. It's a shame. But, maybe you'll like it. Maybe you'll like the fishing anime about the girls that are now stepsisters and are trying to build a relationship together. Maybe it'll soothe the soul for you. I'm just like not super into it. Strongest sage with the weakest crest. Our boy Maddie continues to just be overpowered and easygoing. If you're looking for an isekai that like where some of the supporting main characters are worried about shit and they shouldn't be, at this point they're like, oh no, we have to fight demons. They're controlling the dragon vein in the dungeon, and you're like, yeah, but you shouldn't be worried about that. You already know that the guy who's leading your party, like, one, you're already strong and you know you're strong, but like Maddie isn't gonna die against some fucking demons. Like, don't worry about it. It's gonna be okay. Like, I don't know. There's periods where I'm just like, you don't have to be worried about that. Everything's gonna be okay. He's very clearly, completely and utterly overpowered. And then like, if at any point he's ever feeling weird about it, he also knows what his shortcomings are, which I respect, that he's like aware of his shortcomings. Anyway, that show is easy to watch, and I do enjoy that Iris is still the best character. Iris, the dragon girl, still great. I love that this part. I'll say this about this gun here. I'm loving that this is a piece of plastic there and not a sticker, so I can panel line it. That is great, and so it looks fantastic. Oops, pops right off there. I think that is great, and so much more preferable to a sticker that you have to really worry about. You know what? Let's panel line the gun. I don't panel line weapons that often. We got a shield left to build. We'll do that too. Let's just hit that. We're just gonna hit this with the marker here, nice and easy. Just using the black marker on this gray. It'll really make this whole thing pop. Let's see, the last one. How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom, Part 2. The minor characters are really doing it for me. We're gonna get into some more like shit because even though he's annexed or this other country has been annexed and now they're gonna combine, and that prince is still out there, and he's probably not happy about it, and this could indeed include some further conflicts with other nations, like the Grand Chaos Union, or Grand Chaos Empire, which sounds evil, doesn't it? It's got chaos in the... Hey, why do you have chaos in the name? Like, what's going on? Also, we got more of the romance stuff, because right now, our boy Soma has 2 fiancés, one public fiancés, 1 secret fiancé, and then another girl that also wants to be a public fiancé or a secret fiancé, who is the princess that was like kind of playing him in the first season, but he was unaware of her, that was what happened, but he was aware that he was being used by somebody. She's been behind the scenes, and now she is in front of the scenes. We'll see what happens. But yeah, the harem has increased. And And that stuff's kind of fun. Their interplay has been all right this season. It's not my favorite part of the show, but it's been fine. All right, so we got the gun here. And of course, we could have the gun. We could also have this like on the back. It's got a spot here. So we can place that right there if we want to do that. But we don't want to do that. We want to have our friend hold this gun. So we will take the hand apart so that we can put it around it. This kit does not come with a bazooka. I wish more high grades RX-78-2s had the bazooka because the bazooka is great. And I wish that more kits would feature it. It's annoying that we don't have more that do. Because I think that's just a cool addition. I think I said that before, but, you know, bears repeating. Give me the bazooka. Let me build the bazooka for this kit. Let's see. Get this together here. What are y'all doing? I mean, obviously, people are playing Elden Ring. I know that. But are there other games you're checking out? Other things? Like, I know we're talking about some of the demos in Steam. I'll probably play some demos. Hey, let me say that, friends. Tomorrow, I got some time tomorrow. I'm going to check out some demos on Steam. And so I can talk about some of those demos. I'll do that. So that's something I can talk about on Monday. But yeah, if you're playing any games besides the ones, we talked about, or if you're just like, nah, man, I'm just playing Elden Ring, it rules. Like, what are you playing? What are you watching? You got any series you're checking out? Are you watching any anime? You're watching anything on YouTube? You're like, well, hey, did you know about this YouTuber? I love to hear from you. Chat has been a little light tonight, and that's okay. That happens. But I genuinely always like to hear what you all are up to and into. We got some time left in the stream to talk about it, so feel free to let me know in the chat what's going on. What you got going on there. Like I said, still playing a lot of Hearthstone. Love it, enjoying it, having a good time with that. Some decks that I really enjoy playing, both standard and wild decks. Having a good time with that. And I don't have I don't have much else to say there, but still having a good time with it. John says, we're working through the second season of Lelouch. Playing some Shin Megami Tensei 5, and hopefully building a Lego Mario 64 question mark block. I saw that in the Discord. That's something you got. That's awesome. That is a cool Lego set. Good looking Lego set there. I hope you have a good time with that. Lasper says, I watched all of Gundam Build Real yesterday. That is the live action one, I believe is on YouTube officially. It's about 12 episodes worth of drama in a 6-episode runtime. Yeah, that is something that I have heard, that they definitely put a lot of stuff in there. I lost it when they noticed they were using a real Steel Battalion controller as a prop. Oh, God. Yeah, I saw a photo of that. That the Build Real uses there's a Steel Battalion thing. I mean, look, if you watch a lot of space TV, like TV about space stuff, inevitably you will see a Nerf gun, some kind of spray painted Nerf gun, or actually more likely knockoffs of Nerf guns that people make, hoping that companies will buy them to put them in their TV shows. So that is very fun. Came in late, playing Elden Ring terribly at Borderlands 3 with the squad. Hell yeah, glad you got the squad. Welcome, Ghost Valve. Glad you got your squad in there. That rules. John says, we have Cuphead show on our next watch. Okay. Oh, because Lord Crashin said, finished up the Cuphead show, which is pretty good. Yeah, haven't seen that. No plans to. I got no plans to check out the Cuphead show. But I hope you enjoyed it. Finished Horizon Zero Dawn, says Dirty, and jumped into Horizon Forbidden West. Horizon 1 Dawn, nice. Glad you're checking out 1 Dawn. Seems pretty okay so far. Ordered some new shoes today because my flip-flops flipped their last flop. Yeah, there's a shelf life on those things. Why isn't this not wanting to connect properly? Let's get that together. Okay, we got it together. Great. I found that Lego is putting out a tiny robot next week, says Aristophan. I am now clicking a link that Aristophan shared. One of the Star Trek reboot movies used a Mad Catz flight stick. Yep, sometimes you just need... Well, sometimes the company that you hired to make things, you didn't give them enough time. And then they're like, all right, well, we're just going to modify a thing that exists that we have in storage because sometime at some point, somebody from that company bought some weird shit one day, and one of those things was a Mad Catz flight stick or something. Hey, the Super Robot is coming out on March 1st. That's a Lego 3-in-1 that looks adorable because it's a little robot friend. It's a jet. And what's the third one? Oh, it's like a dragon. That is adorable. The Lego Super Robot 3-in-1 is coming on March 1st. That's very, very cute. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled on that. Maybe that'll show up on an Amazon wish list, or maybe I'll just buy it next time I'm buying stuff from Target or something if it shows up there. That is very cute, Wrist Fan. Thank you for sharing that robot link. If it ends up on Amazon.com, perhaps it'll be on my Amazon wish list. I do like Lego 3-in-1s because you get to build 3 different things. Very good for streams. Good bang for your buck. Also, because it is not a licensed product, it is not the most expensive thing in the world. Sorry. I thought I was done with this, and I wasn't, because I still have a piece for the shield. So I had to go and reach and get that. I could have put the camera on and be right back, but I chose not to. All right, we'll do that. Snap that together. We're going to panel line this, and yeah, this is going to be the end of the stream. We're going to finish this kit up, and then we'll start the new kit on Monday. This was such a pleasant build. Just such a good looking kit and so nice to put together. I highly recommend the Beyond Global. If you haven't built this kit before, if you're looking for an RX-78-2 to put together, if you just want something a high grade for your collection, this one is rad. Thank you to the person who picked this up off my Amazon wish list, who is requested to be anonymous. Thank you. Let's see. I think we're going to hit this with black. We're just going to go trace the lines here with black. Just give it a little bit of color. I think that's the way to go, yeah. Sometimes when it's like this, you know, I could use the brown or I could use the black, but I think like I'm going to be hitting the marker a little bit on this gold, or the yellow gold there, so that's what I want to do, is kind of accentuate that, and that will accentuate that. I mean, it's a choice, right? I could have used brown marker there, or the black, or even the gray. I could have mixed it up, but I like putting a little bit of black on that, kind of weathering that or aging that a little bit. I think is the way to go. And we'll just hit this with black too, and just hit the eraser over there. But yeah, this shield can go on the back of the kit, in the backpack. You just put that there. Hang out there if you want, which is fine. Or you can put it on the arm, and we're going to put it on the arm. Whoops. Oh, popped up. Popped apart. It's okay. Doesn't really need blue tack there. I just got sloppy with it. So we got the gun on one arm, and then we'll need the shield on the other part of the arm here. So we're going to put this like this. And then this is going to go here. So that snaps onto the arm. And we'll do the handle as well, because I think that just always looks cool. Oops. Will be easier to do. Sometimes it's easier to take the arm off, and sometimes it's easier to do it. Put the shield on with the arm. I'm just going to take the arm off, put the shield on the arm, and then put the arm back on the kit. I think that'll be fine. Yeah. All right. That goes on like that. Oops. No, it doesn't really want to stay on. Huh. This should snap on the side here. It's not easily doing. There it goes. There it goes. Okay. And now just snap that back. Oh, back on. I'm like, oh, it'll be nice and easy, and then it is not. That happens. You just gotta figure it out. Sometimes I get a little quick, and I should be moving slowly. And instead of moving slowly, I'm moving very quickly. And I don't need to be in a rush. Because whatever. I don't think, but yeah, if you're playing anything, watching anything else, I loved hearing all about what you all are getting into. I especially like the old idea from Ghost Valve of Borderlands 3 with the crew, with the squad. I do have a Halo date tomorrow with the Halo crew. Tomorrow night we're playing some Halo. We have not played in a little bit, so I'm glad we're getting back together because we lost a few people to various games, including Horizon, but also two of my friends are playing Destiny and just got way back into Destiny again. We had kind of stole them away to play Halo with us, with the understanding that that was a temporary thing, and eventually they were going to get back into playing Halo or playing Destiny 2, and they're back to Destiny 2, which I understand. But maybe someday we'll get them back if there's like new Halo shit. But it's still fun. I can still get games together. We still have a crew that is playing and doing a good job, and it's a very fun crew. So can't complain about that. And then we'll take a photo of this kit here with its gun and shield. And we'll do like, I want to see the scope there because it looks rad. But yeah, we've been playing a bunch of Rocket League as the season ends in a week or so. Oh, Lord Crash, and I haven't thought about Rocket League in quite some time. I'm glad you're having fun with Rocket League. I was never good at Rocket League. I never had a crew that wanted to play Rocket League. I liked it fine. I just never put enough hours into it. Would have had to put more hours into it to get more out of it. That is going to do it for the RX-78-2 Beyond Global. So you can check that out here. I just want to check really quick. I've got messages piling up. I want to make sure there aren't anything I got to worry about here. No. That's fine. I got retweeted by Stroud. That's nice. Stroud, who is, I talked about r/Gunpla before. That is, I believe, the owner and operator of the Gunpla subreddit, and taking part in organizing and streaming in the Plastic Model Weekender, which is coming this year. Will be April 29th through May 1st, 2022. More details coming soon. Twitch.tv/Plamo Weekender. I will say, hey, Harold, hello and welcome, my friend. Thank you very much. We're going to hit the, let's hit the, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Oh, Harold, also another one here. I don't know why I'm not getting the overlay on that. I'm going to have to double check. Sorry, Harold. We get the elements for when I get subs. That worked today, but not getting it for that. But thank you for the 17. I can see that you gave 15 and then also 17 bits. So you joined the your top of the bits. Thank you very much for that cheer. Appreciate it. 101. Right over Red Drum. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I'm hopefully going to do some appearances at places you like, be it other people's Twitch streams or podcasts or live streams. The goal is that in March, I'm out, or sorry, April, like the middle of April is the goal, that I will be making some appearances at places that you like, promoting the thing that I'm doing, which is the Plastic Model Weekender, and the very concept of Plastic Model Weekender. That's the hope, is that I will be in places and to not just encourage people like you who already might tune in while I'm streaming there, but also to encourage people who don't know who I am to come hang out. That is also would be a great goal. Let's see. I'll show off the next kit. We're not going to get too deep into the 00 Command Quanta, but I'll show it to you Let me just get rid of this. Yeah. It looks cool as hell. So I think that you'll be interested. Some really good greens in this. The Pat Bear were the friends who made along the way. Thank you and John. I have been told that specifically the dark green in this kit, which is down here, I should be careful when snipping this out because apparently if you get really careless with it, you're going to see a lot of like bends in the plastic. You're going to see a lot of like marks, clear plastic marks there, apparently. So I've been told to be careful of that. Lots of stickers here for the interpretations of the GN drives, which is very reminiscent of that kind of thing. We do have some clear plastic parts there. Not all of this is going to go in the kit. There's going to be a bit of leftover on this kit, which happens with these types of mashups here. But yeah, the command quant. Some people call it quanta. Some people call it quant. I think I'm going to go with quant instead of the quanta. The quant. But yeah, like this here. This piece here, we are only using like 3 or 4 parts. Like a lot of this is not going to be used. I think it's like the sword. Also, this plastic feels really bendy and weird because this is usually, all of this is usually clear, like a clear green or a clear blue. So this is not clear, so it feels odd. Aristofan says, thoughts about the Steam Deck review came out this week. I was going to, for a bit, so you may already talked about it. Oh, you're gone for a bit. I do know you recently got a good rig. Yeah, so the Steam Deck solves a problem that I don't have, which is playing my Steam games on the go. I don't have that problem. It doesn't solve anything for me. Right now, my computer is here in the living room, and or the Carolina room as we call it, and I'm here. And then after that, it's going back in the bedroom where I spend all my time anyway. I'm the only person that uses this computer. I don't have to share it. I did get a better rig. Of course, my last rig was not the best and eventually would have become very obsolete. But yeah, that doesn't solve any problems that I have. I'd be much more likely to get a Switch, which I think I would like to at some point, but I really can't spend the money to justify spending the money, whereas a new computer I could justify. So yeah, it seems neat, but I guess if I lived in New York... No, if I lived in New York, I just want to Switch to play on the subway. I wouldn't be playing a Steam Deck on the subway because I would need an internet connection for a lot of the games I want to play. Like, I don't play Hearthstone on my phone. I play Hearthstone on my computer because I'd play it too much if it was on my phone. Or I have it on my iPad, but it's also a huge file for my iPad mini, and I don't want to put it on there. So anyway, it seems cool. It solves a problem that I don't have. So, and Harold, yeah, Playdate seems neat. At least that is a neat thing. I've used the Playdate at some convention stuff. The Game Devs of Color Expo in 2019 had a Playdate, and I got to mess around with that, and that was kind of neat. I did not buy one of them, but I did get to mess around with one. Rip my analog pocket pre-order probably at this point. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I still have a 2DS. I break it out on occasion to play some stuff. That's right. I got a 2DS and a 3DS because I didn't need the 3D. Yeah, I mean, someday I'll play more of it. Anyway, that's probably going to do it for tonight's stream. We are going to raid. That is how we end streams around here. We always raid. We got to find somebody doing something cool out there that I want to go give a bit of a shout out to and a little love to. So let me see what that is. But great question. Talk about the Steam Deck. Yeah, right now I'm at the point where I'm like, that seems neat. Hope you fucking love it. I'm good. Let's see who's doing stuff that we want to go hang out with. Saturday night can sometimes be a little tough. We don't always know who's out there doing their thing. Oh, here's someone doing their thing. We've got we got Arthur Geese is playing Elden Ring. Arthur is great. Former games journalist now. I forget where he works, but he's in New York, which is cool. He basically left games journalism to go to art school, mad props to him, and is now in New York doing stuff. He was working for Wirecutter at one point. I don't know if he still is. Anyway, Arthur's great. So we're going to go raid Arthur. So feel free to come along on this raid. Come back on a Steam Deck is too expensive to take out and about. Totally. It feels like it's a bedroom console because your computer is in your living room. Anyway, come along on this raid. If you don't want to come on this raid, come back on Monday as we work on a brand new kit. Thank you very much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. I always appreciate you here. If you've been here for 5 minutes or 2 hours, thank you so much. Please come along on this raid because we're going to go see Arthur play some Elden Ring. And again, Arthur's good people and has a really nice community of fun folks. So come along on that. Thanks for being here. I hope to see you again in the future. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.